Hey guys, it's Matt Haycox here, and I'm here, I say 30,000 feet above the ground. I actually don't know how high I am or where I am, but I'm en route to Mykonos, just left Cannes. I've got a few hours to kill on the journey, so I thought I'd have a little chat with you guys, tell you some stories. I'm all alone up here, well obviously all alone apart from Callum and two pirates. I've got no pirates, only pilots. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys instead. I was making some videos and writing some blogs over the last couple of days about money lessons and money lessons I know now compared to lessons about money and business that I wish I knew as a kid, or even more importantly, completely different different versions of the story, different opinions that you get taught as a kid. And it made me think of a funny story as well, which my first job was actually a magician. I was a table magician in a local Italian restaurant. My house in Leeds is still only 500 metres away from this restaurant that I used to work at. I always lived around that area when I was a kid. Yeah, like I say, 16 years old, first job, table magician. And I used to go in there on a Friday night. I'd work on a Friday, I'd work on a Saturday, because I wanted to buy a watch. I was desperate to buy this watch. My parents wouldn't buy it for me, rightly so. They sent me out to work, and my hobby was magic. I used to love doing magic tricks, and I decided at the time, I wanted to be the next David Copperfield. That was how I was going to make my fame and fortune. But in the meantime, I had to settle for doing tricks in the restaurant on a Friday night, and they paid me the princely sum of one garlic bread per shift. Literally, once a night they'd pay me a garlic bread when I was leaving. I had no expenses to get to and from work. Rather, they didn't pay me any expenses to get to and from work. I had to pay my own taxi or beg my mum to take me. I'd work for the night with no basic wage, just a garlic bread to go home with. However, that is not the story of my abject poverty in the teenage years and being unable to buy the watch, because whilst I didn't get a basic wage, what I did actually get was tips, and very, very good tips. I guess you guys probably see in restaurant type environment when there's an entertainer there, it's obviously very commonplace to tip them, and particularly as a kid, I think people probably took extra pity on me. And I could earn up to £200 a night. Even a bad night, it'd be £100. But typically I could take £200 a night and my garlic bread. Don't forget, so £200 a night and a garlic bread. So across the weekend, I'd be earning £400, 2 garlic breads, and I'd be the happiest 16-year-old alive. It's actually funny because, like I said, I still eat in this restaurant to this day. It's one of my favourite restaurants. It's actually one of these, really kind of old school, stereotypical Italian places where the waiters have not changed over the years, or certainly some of them haven't changed over the years. Some of the guys who used to be waiters when I was there as a 16-year-old, literally 24, 25 years later, they still work there today. And they have a laugh with me and they rib me about how much they used to hate me as this little kid when I was there 25 years ago, because I'd take £200 a night in tips, and sometimes they might get 15, 20 quid, get nothing. And they said they used to hate me for taking all their tips. But I'm not just telling you about my about my childhood dreams to be a magician. The reason I tell you this story is because the lesson that I guess I learned accidentally back then, so obviously something I know formally now, is the importance of being in the right vehicle. The right vehicle in your career, whether that is your job, if you're working somewhere, or whether it is your business, if you own a business. Far too often people focus on things like basic wages, basic salaries or perks, and don't actually understand whether or not the vehicle that they're in, the job that they've got, has got the ability to take them to where they want to go. Now, to my friends at the time, and to many of you guys listening to this, that magic job probably sounded the worst job in the world. I mean, who the fuck goes to work with no promise of a wage and nothing more than a garlic bread? I knew, maybe I didn't know at the time, but I learned pretty quickly that even though I didn't have the comfort of a basic wage, it provided me the vehicle, the surroundings, the ability for me to add my value, for me to put my bid in there, and to earn the money that I wanted to earn. So ultimately, that is what is most important. If you're in a job that has a ceiling on your commission, or if you're in if you're a business owner and you're selling a product that's got a very limited market, or works on very fine margins, etc. You probably don't have the vehicle that you need to be able to earn the money you want to. And it's so important to take that step back and actually work out if you can achieve what you want to achieve from what you've got around you. And if you haven't, or if you can't, then you've got to go and change it. Find that new job, make that move to be self-employed. If you're a business owner, find a new product, find a new vertical, whatever it may be. But don't just be blindly hammering away, ultimately pissing in the wind, because if you haven't got the ability to get to where you want to be, then everything you do during that journey is a complete waste of time. So there is moral in the story, method to my madness, and telling you about my garlic bread.